Chapter 1: The Arrival. The documentary opens with the chilling sound of a heavy metal door slamming shut, reverberating through the sterile gray hallways of the prison. Marcus, our narrator, recounts his first moments behind bars, each echoing clang amplifying his fear and confusion. Stripped of his youthful vibrance, he faces the stark reality of incarceration, a solitary figure swallowed by the unforgiving environment. He describes the whirlwind of emotions as he navigates the harshly lit corridors, feeling the weight of judgment in the eyes of other inmates. Whispers of uncertainty ripple through the air, mingling with the rustling of uniforms and distant shouts. Memories of freedom clash with the present, leaving him grappling with solitude and despair. As the sounds intertwine, Marcus finishes with a haunting whisper, "This is where my world shrinks, but where will my story grow?" The stage is set for a profound exploration of redemption amidst the darkness. Chapter 2: The Inmate Landscape. As Marcus navigates the labyrinthine halls of the prison, he becomes acutely aware of the varied backgrounds that tapestry the inmate landscape. He describes the stark divisions, gang affiliations, mental health struggles, and histories of trauma, each inmate carrying the weight of their own stories. Among them is Shorty, who opens up about his childhood marred by neglect and crime, encapsulating the cycle of despair that often leads individuals here. Lisa, a former teacher, reveals her fall from grace, recounting how her drive to help others veered into darkness through addiction. The soundscape captures the essence of confinement, whispers echoing off concrete walls, the click of guards' boots on the floor, and the distant clanging of metal bars. It's a world steeped in tension, but also in unexpected camaraderie, where each voice adds to the complex dialogue of survival amidst the shadows. Chapter 3: The Survival Code. As the prison daily grind sets in, the social hierarchy becomes painfully evident. Inmates navigate a complex web of alliances where trust is both a currency and a risk. Marcus introduces us to Shorty, whose childhood trauma has sculpted his hardened exterior, and Lisa, a former teacher grappling with her self-worth. Their stories intertwine, revealing the delicate balance of survival within these walls. Shorty, with his slow, deliberate voice, recounts a betrayal that shattered his faith in friendship, while Lisa speaks of the vulnerability that comes from admitting one's mistakes. The atmosphere is thick with tension, underscored by whispers and nervous laughter echoed in the common area. The sound of clanging metal reverberates in the background, a constant reminder of their confinement. In this fragile ecosystem of camaraderie, the survival code is not merely about avoiding danger. It's about finding moments of solidarity amidst despair, where every connection can be a lifeline or a liability. Chapter 4: Hopes and Regrets. As the inmates gather in the dimly lit library for story night, a palpable energy fills the air. Marcus stands at the front, nervous yet eager to share a piece of his soul. He speaks about his childhood dreams of becoming a musician, the joyful memories of strumming his first guitar, the thrill of performing in front of friends, and the sense of belonging it once brought him. The room falls silent, each inmate leaning forward, captivated by his words. One by one, the stories unfold, echoes of laughter mixed with heart-wrenching regrets. Shorty reflects on lost opportunities, while Lisa shares glimpses of a life filled with promise, now overshadowed by her past mistakes. The soundscape shifts, blending haunting melodies with gentle guitar strumming, resonating with the theme of lost dreams and the desire for redemption. Amid the sadness, a flicker of hope ignites, reminding them that their stories still hold the power to heal. Chapter 5: The Bond of Brotherhood. In the oppressive confines of the prison, unexpected friendships begin to blossom. Marcus introduces us to his closest allies: Jake, an ex-gang member longing for redemption, and Thomas, a quiet artist finding solace in sketching his surroundings. Together, they create a sanctuary where vulnerability emerges amidst the harsh realities of incarceration. In the yard, we hear the rhythmic thump of a basketball, punctuated by bursts of laughter as they play, each shot symbolizing a step toward healing. During thoughtful moments, they gather to share stories of their lives before prison, tales of joy, regret, and fleeting freedom. Sarah, the compassionate prison counselor, joins them, facilitating conversations that encourage growth. The soundscape reflects this camaraderie, the laughter and the squeak of sneakers amidst the concrete echoes. In these fleeting moments of connection, they build a brotherhood that transcends the limitations of their environment, igniting hope for a shared future. Chapter 6. The Weight of the Past. In the dim light of the common area, Marcus sits across from Shorty and Lisa, each recounting the moments that led them to this stark reality. Shorty's voice quivers as he reveals snippets of a fractured childhood, an absent father and a mother struggling with addiction. The echoes of laughter turn to silence, heavy with sorrow. Lisa, a former teacher, shares her fall from grace, the drugs that blurred her dreams of inspiring students. The atmosphere thickens, underscored by pen scratching on paper as each inmate reflects on their journey. The sound of a distant clock ticking mirrors the weight of their regrets. With every story, threads of humanity weave tighter. The burden of their pasts becomes a shared bond. As they speak, a flicker of understanding ignites among them, hinting that acceptance may be the first step toward healing. The chapter concludes with an ambient hum, leaving a lingering sense of introspection. Chapter 7. The Candy Store. In a small corner of the prison yard, an unlikely sanctuary emerges, a communal craft project dubbed the Candy Store. Led by Sarah, the compassionate counselor, this initiative invites inmates to unleash their creativity through art. As the men and women gather around tables laden with colorful supplies, a sense of camaraderie begins to take shape. Marcus describes the joy of working together, where the clinks of paintbrushes and the rustle of paper mingle with laughter. Shorty creates intricate paper models, while Lisa finds solace in painting, colors spilling onto the canvas like hidden emotions. As they collaborate, stories of their journeys are shared. Pasts filled with pain gradually transform into shared visions of hope. The soundscape fills with spirited conversations, light banter, and the occasional burst of laughter, revealing the transformative power of creativity. In this vibrant space, personal connections deepen, reminding them that even behind bars, they can create beauty and foster unity. Chapter 8. Tensions Rise. As days pass, the atmosphere in the prison thickens with unspoken resentment simmering beneath the surface. The inmates whisper in corners, their voices tinged with frustration and anger. Shorty describes a recent altercation over a trivial matter that escalated, igniting old rivalries. The soundscape reflects this mounting tension. Heavy footsteps echo down the corridors, punctuated by the clinking of metal as guards remain vigilant, unaware of the brewing storm. Marcus captures the emotional weight of the moment, recalling heated discussions during mealtimes where words turned into veiled threats. "You could feel it in the air," he says, his voice low. The once communal spaces now feel like ticking time bombs, every exchanged glance filled with potential conflict. Silence reigns as they brace for the inevitable clash, underscoring the fragility of peace in a place where trust is hard-won and easily shattered. In this claustrophobic environment, their relationships hang by a thread, poised on the edge of upheaval. Chapter 9. The Incident. Tension hangs thick in the air as whispers of unrest circulate among the inmates. The cramped confines of the prison create a pressure cooker of emotions, and Marcus can feel the pulse of anxiety. It happens in an instant. A heated disagreement escalates, voices rising like a storm, shattering the fragile calm. The chaotic ruckus erupts, metal clashing against metal, shouts of anger and fear intertwining with the desperate calls for order. Marcus stands frozen, witnessing the raw violence unfold before him. Shadows twist against the cold walls as chaos spirals out of control, the guards' whistles piercing through the din. Panic surges. He reflects on the choices that led them to this moment. The incident marks a turning point, cementing the reality of their existence. The echoes of fists striking flesh and the cacophony of shouting reverberate long after the dust settles, leaving a chilling silence in its wake, a silence that demands reflection and change. Chapter 10. Aftermath and Reflection. The aftermath of the fight reverberates through the prison like a thunderclap, leaving an air of unease in its wake. In the stark confines of their cells, inmates gather in hushed tones, their voices heavy with regret and the weight of realization. Marcus, shaken by the chaos, reflects on the fragility of the connections they've forged. "I never thought it would come to this," he whispers, a tremor in his voice. Shorty, sitting nearby, echoes his sentiment. "We're just hurting each other." As they share stories of the night's violent escalation, A somber silence hangs in the air, punctuated by distant weeping and the slow shuffle of guards patrolling the halls. Amidst their sorrow, a collective understanding forms. Violence only begets more pain. This moment serves as a powerful turning point, igniting a desire within them to seek healing and connection rather than succumb to despair. Chapter 11. The Turning Point. As sunlight filters through barred windows, the atmosphere shifts within the prison. A rehabilitation program offers inmates a chance for redemption, igniting newfound hope among those who have long felt lost. We hear from Marcus, who shares how engaging in educational courses has reignited his passion for learning, transforming despair into determination. The voices of fellow inmates echo with stories of healing. One recounts how art therapy unlocked emotions he'd buried deep, while another speaks of the profound impact of mindfulness sessions. The soundscape swells with gentle piano melodies, underscoring moments of reflection and newfound strength. In this space, ambitions reignite, the aspiration to become a mentor, to advocate for change upon release. The inmates embrace their vulnerabilities, realizing that this turning point is not just about personal growth. It's about reclaiming their identities and inspiring hope in one another. Together, they begin to cultivate a community built on support and resilience. Chapter 12. The Healing Process. In this chapter, we delve into the transformative power of therapy sessions held within the prison walls. The sound of soft-spoken dialogues fills the air as inmates take turns sharing their stories in a safe space. Marcus describes the profound vulnerability that emerges when discussing buried emotions and traumas. The soothing background of ambient music complements their heartfelt confessions, allowing each voice to echo in the hearts of others. Through guided discussions, inmates unveil layers of guilt, grief, and longing, confronting their pasts while envisioning a brighter future. Shorty shares a breakthrough moment, revealing how he finally forgave himself, while Lisa expresses her desire to reconnect with her estranged family. The warmth of empathy radiates among the group, punctuated by moments of quiet reflection and collective support. As the chapter concludes, the soundscape gently fades, leaving listeners with a sense of hope and the promise of healing amidst adversity. Chapter 13. Dreams of Freedom. In the dimly lit common area, the air buzzes with anticipation as inmates gather to share their aspirations for life beyond the prison walls. Marcus takes center stage, his voice filled with passion as he speaks about his dream of becoming a musician and healing through his art. He shares how the thought of performing for a crowd gives him hope and purpose. Other inmates follow suit. Shorty envisions opening a community center to support troubled youth, while Lisa dreams of reuniting with her family and teaching again. As they share their visions, the sounds of laughter and encouragement fill the room, mixing with soft, uplifting melodies that underscore their narratives. The atmosphere shifts from one of despair to a collective yearning for freedom, igniting a sense of community and camaraderie. In this moment, dreams become tangible, affirming that even behind bars, the spirit of possibility can flourish.